Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm super excited to be here today. I've managed to catch up with a few of you over the past 2 days, and I've kind of been joking around saying, I'm so excited I got the morning slot because this is going to be in detail. This is going to be technical. We're going to be going through a lot of information, as Matt said, the conversion side of this, right? We got traffic. We've got people to the page. We heard from a few people yesterday who have been mentioning a little bit about funnels, right? They've been saying, okay, you need a funnel, but what is a funnel? You know, how many people actually here, by show of hands, know what a funnel is? Before I get into it, if I was to pick you out of a crowd and ask you, how many people here actually know what a funnel is? Perfect. Okay, so let's kind of jump straight into this. So a little bit about me, of course, why you can trust me. I ended up starting digital marketing around about 2016. I was in the military for 5.5 years. I joined when I was 16 years old. And when I left the military, I ended up starting some MLM platform. It was Juice Plus, if anybody knows what that was, right? And when I left, we very quickly merged into e-commerce. And just like most people, one of the 6 businesses that I tried, it flopped. But when I was doing e-commerce, I understood that building funnels was the way that we could create very quickly pages that would sell individual products. And I ended up spending so much time. We ended up building out about 50 funnels, completely pointless. But I understood what funnels were, why they worked, how they work, most importantly. And that's, of course, what I'm going to be going into today. To where I ended up leaving the military. I was doing a little bit of stuff on the side. It was funny. Because this e-commerce business ended up flopping, I was just about to go traveling with my partner. For 2 years, we've been saving a little bit of money, but I was also relying on this incredible e-commerce business, which I had just set up. And it flopped. And I had a friend who ended up reaching out to me at the time, and he said, hey, what's up, Alex? I would love to get you to build a funnel for me. And at the time, I was like, no way, I'm pissed right now. Like, I have no money. Like, I don't want to be doing that for you. And he was like, I'll pay $500. And at the time, I remember I was sat there with my girlfriend. I was like, this guy's going to pay me $500 to build a funnel. And bearing in mind, at the time, I was in the military, I'd get paid 1.2K a month, right? So I was like, this guy's going to pay me a third of my wage to do something I knew that I could achieve in around about 2 days. So I done it. And he was super happy. Long story short, I ended up luckily getting a referral straight from him, from another friend. He was like, it's going to take a little bit more time. I'll pay you $1,000. And that's kind of where my journey all kind of started from there. I realized the information that I learned, the skill that I had acquired, was something that is hugely valuable, especially in this day and age. And I ended up meeting Russell Brunson. He flew us, me and 29 other people, out to Boise, Idaho, where their ClickFunnels HQ is. They had a bunch of designers fly out. They said we wanted to rebuild all of the funnels that they were going to give people at ClickFunnels. So we ended up going out. That was the very first time that I ended up meeting him. So I was freelancing a little bit at the time, and I ended up then creating our agency called Funnel Empire. And hopefully, which we'll be going into a little bit about today, you should be able to read this headline and know exactly what it is that we do, right? We help businesses all around the world to generate leads and sales through the use of funnels and paid advertising. And we have generated millions of dollars in revenue for our clients. For us, it's myself and my old business partner. Once again, it was a ClickFunnels event, Funnel Hacking Live. Has anybody seen or been to Funnel Hacking Live before? Yeah, right, quite a few people. We actually created one of the very fastest 2 Comma Club awards, that award that you see on stage there, that's essentially making $1 million with one single sales funnel. And we've done it for an e-commerce company in just around about 23 days. We ended up hitting 2.4 mil for that company in around about 45 days, just because of that information that we learned, the tweaks, the changes that we made throughout that funnel. We're able to increase the conversion rate, able to maximize how much money that we can make through a single funnel. And we have worked and consulted with hundreds of local businesses all around the world, from dentists, chiropractors, people with info products, e-commerce companies. I'm sure you guys will realize over the course of what I'm going to teach you today that this can literally work for every single business out there, because there is a little bit of stigma. I was speaking to someone yesterday, and they were saying to me, they were like, well, funnels have got a little bit of a weird vibe to it, right? Some people are like, oh, it's kind of like a little bit of a scale. Like, no one knows what a funnel is because it's overcomplicated. They don't really understand, like, what is this in comparison to my website? How is this any different to my website other than me paying some guys to do it and them classing it as a funnel, right? So I'm going to be running all through that today. So, what is a funnel? A funnel, in the simplest way possible, and I did rip this from Google. It was a better way than me describing it. A funnel is a way of directing our leads through a sequence of steps to get them to perform a desired outcome. And the desired outcome will typically dictate the type of funnel that we use, right? If we're looking for lead generation, we're not going to have an order page on the front page, right? If we're looking, as John spoke about yesterday or the day before, he spoke a lot about webinar funnels, right? That's a great point because he was like, you need a webinar funnel, you need a webinar funnel. It's like, how do I build a webinar funnel? Like, what's the key pieces that I actually need to create a webinar funnel? And we heard yesterday the AIDA format, right? As soon as I was listening to it, I was sat at the back of the slide and I was like, you just stole 4 pieces of my content I'm about to talk about today. But it's good because I'm showing you how this is relevant within inside of a funnel format, right? He mentioned it within inside of emails, and it's basically just copywriting. But within inside of a funnel format, we're going to break down how that AIDA format actually works. And just a quick slide here. You're more familiar for the people who don't know what a funnel is. You're for sure more familiar with it with what you think. So I've pulled up a quick slide here. If we look at a retail store, right, and we look at an e-commerce store, literally exactly the same. I'm not going to go through them all, but customer walks into a store. They visit the website, right? They add something to the cart. They add something to our store page. It is literally exactly the same. Even if we take the typical McDonald's format, right? That's a funnel. You go in sometimes, most of the time, especially if you're a regular, you know what it is that you want in there. You're like, okay, I'm going to go for the double cheeseburger today, but in the back of your mind, you're like, I'm not sure yet if I'm going to take the fries, if I'm going to take the drink. So in the back of your mind, you're already kind of thinking about, okay, should I take that, should I not? Until someone walks up to you and says, hey, would you like fries? Would you like a drink with that? Right? And what is that? That's an upsell. And that is all part of what a funnel is. And we're going to kind of come break this down now inside of this AIDA format. So we spoke a lot about this, right? Attention, awareness. This is how we would use this in context of a funnel. And what I've actually brought up here is one of our old clients' advertisements that are used on Facebook. Now you can see here that we can use this Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Google. We've done native, TikTok, Snapchat. You mentioned it. There's so many different avenues out there. And the strategy I'm going to be talking to you about today is going to be pretty much be for Facebook and Instagram. But the attention side of this, right? This is where we capture the attention of our audience and create awareness around our company or product. And you can see here what he's put together, a little bit of copy at the top, clearly pointing to what it is. It was actually worked really well. Of course, we had video ads, which we had running at the same time. Straight at the bottom there, you can see, hey, you can go and get your free copy of our affiliate playbook, right? So that's the attention side. So the funnel actually starts from the advertising itself, right? What is, even just kind of prompto here, even if we look at what the point of advertisements are, they're not there to sell people. They're there to get someone from where they are into a place that we can control them, which is our funnel, our website, our opt-in form, whatever it is, okay? So the second stage of this is interest. This is where we have captured our audience's attention, and they are now interested in our offer, regardless if this is a free training video, free download, free cheat sheet, free web class, as John spoke about, right? Free case study, free blog. There's so many different things here, but the whole point of this is we have captured their attention. Now we're trying to take them to give them something, whatever it is, even if it is a purchase, right? This is where we have their interest. So that's I. The second stage after this is decision. This is where our lead has decided to commit to our offer and is now in the decision phase of our process. So this is where we can then offer them your product, your service, your free consultation, in our case, right? A free web class, which is good because John spoke about this. If you actually remember, John was saying, he pulled up a slide and he was like, this is what we don't want funnels to look like. And it was like opt-in page, thank you page, webinar registration page. This is basically what we've done for that company. But it's not because of what John said was wrong. We had ads running directly to a webinar registration page, which was fantastic. We were getting a great opt-in rate. People were signing up. But we also wanted to diversify. We wanted to try and figure out more ways that we could capture people on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube, wherever it was, and then ultimately get them to the decision, which is for them to sign up to the webinar, right? Or some type of paid online training or course. So that's the decision. The final step of this is action. This is where we take our lead. This is where our lead has taken our desired result in action. And typically this will be, we want them to schedule a call. We want them to purchase our product. We want them to opt into our list. So if we take it in the format here, right, so they've gone from Facebook, we've took them to a landing page, we've got them to download the PDF, they've gone to the webinar registration page. You don't see all of the back end of this. They're on the webinar, sat there for an hour and a half. and then they make a decision to buy, or they at least commit to being able to buy. And this is where we would then take them to the page that you can see here, which is an order page, right? So one of the three that I've kind of mentioned there. So just a quick one, just so you can see this in context of all of the different businesses that we have helped with funnels. It was funny, I was speaking to one of the camera crew, they were identical, so I'm not even going to bother trying to pull them out. But it's funny because this is one of our clients, his name is Julius Dean, he's got 22 million followers around the world, give or take. And even if we look at last month, he ended up spending around about 84K on ads just from Facebook, and he ended up generating 160 back, right? Solely from Facebook advertising. And you guys have heard everything about Google, YouTube, and all of these different options that we can run. It's exactly what we're doing for him now. Secret Lab, huge gaming chair company. I was super pumped with this because they sent me a free chair, and I've always loved that company. I actually ended up working with them by just sending them an email saying, your website sucks, let me kind of redo it for you. And they said yes. And we generated a huge 0.6% conversion rate. Now, I said that, and I put that on there because most of you might be thinking, that doesn't sound very good whatsoever. But I wanted to give a little bit of context here because funnels, number one, they won't always work straight away. But two, the best part about funnels is how can we tweak? How can we make these adjustments? What is it that's working? What can we change to improve the conversion rate? And so let's do a little bit of math, right? Their average product, all of our clients are US, so I don't even know what the pound means anymore. Their average chair is around about $400, right? Their conversion rate started at 1.61%. So 161 purchases, 64.4K they would have generated. Just from that one small change that we made, that is basically, not the best at math, around about 25K, right? That they've made just from that 0.6% change because of the volume of traffic and everything that they were doing. So you can see with these tweaks, with these changes that we can make the funnels, huge results. Another quick one I want to show you here is another one of our clients called Six Pack Abs. Most of you might be familiar with them. Huge fitness company. They sell fitness products, actual physical fitness products, and they also have info products as well. And if we take a look at last month, they ended up spending around about 87K just from Facebook. They have different teams handling Google, YouTube, huge operation. And just from that alone, they were able to generate 320K pretty much just from this funnel. Madness. Granted, if you do opt in, you will have about 20 people spam calling you trying to sell you some stuff. So they have a great kind of back-end sales system, but their front end converted extremely well, and they were able to achieve some amazing results. And many more. This was the 2 Comma Club award that we got, 2.3 mil in 45 days. This is for an event summit just like this, who were able to generate revenue from this funnel. This is for an online membership site, okay? So people who have a monthly membership, I'm going to be showing you some good examples of this today because it shows the proven framework that I'm going to be teaching you today. So if we kind of take a look at why funnels are so effective. Unlike a website, a funnel has a single call to action in each step of the sequence. This means zero distraction, zero overwhelm. And what I've actually done here is pulled up one of our clients' websites. Once again, I managed to catch up with a lot of you over the past 2 days, so I've been able to drop a few of these stories, but it's funny because they came to us, and as an agency, they said the worst thing ever. They were like, hey, what's up? You're kind of like our last-ditch hope. We're like, everything's not working for us. We've got customers. We've proven we can make this work. People enjoy our product. They enjoy our service. But we just cannot get the strategy to work. And I pulled up their website here because even most of you might say, okay, well, my website is kind of a little bit similar, right? And let's kind of point a few things out here. Straight at the top, we've got a navigation bar, right? We've got a search bar. We've got one call to action. Straight underneath, it says Meet Alessia, which goes to a different page, all about Alessia, the actual dancer herself. Then there's a different call to action. Then there's check out our blogs. Download this app for no reason because you don't even know who we are right now. You know, there's so many different call to actions and things that we're asking people to do before we've even got them to commit to who we are, what we do, know, like, and trust us, right? And most importantly, the reason why funnels work so well is because we're creating a relationship with them. Especially with the strategy that I'm going to be showing you guys today, we're able to create a relationship with people instead of just going, hey, what's up? I know you don't know me, buy my stuff, okay? Let's look at real life. That's not me as a baby. I'm much prettier than that. When I was younger and I wanted to ask my mum for some money, right? It's funny because we learn this at such a young age. When I wanted to ask my mum for some money, I wouldn't walk up to her and say, what's up, mum, give me some money, because there's a fat chance she's going to say no. But what would I do? I'd go out and I'd do the dishes first. I'd make my bed occasionally. Sometimes they'd call her beautiful. Didn't work. But then I would go and ask her for something, right? Because she's a lot more inclined to say yes because I gave her something before I'm asking for something, right? And this is exactly the same strategy we're going to apply to marketing. With this perfect lead generation strategy, we're going to learn how to give before we ask. So, very quickly, some actual visual examples that you guys can see. We've done this for a hormone clinic, right? So this is the strategy I'm going to be sharing with you today. So for the next few slides, you'll be able to see this is identical. The design might change, the strategy is the same. The outcome's different, the strategy is the same. We've done this for a hormone clinic, right, who wants scheduled calls. We've done this for real estate coaches, consultants. We've even done this for a company over in Australia who has a medical marijuana business, right? Legal, I don't know how. Performance coaches. Fitness professionals who have online monthly memberships. This can literally work for everyone because it follows the same principles that we apply literally every single day in real life. Okay, so on a serious note, you are going to have to pay some attention here. This does get pretty deep. So the 5 real key components that we're going to be going through today, right? As you can see on the screen, the PDF opt-in page, the thank you page itself, the thank you video sales letter, hugely important, the follow-up sequences that we have, and also the PDF structure, how we make this look. I spoke about that a little bit to someone yesterday. And you can see kind of like a visual over, wireframe of exactly how that might look. But kind of let's kind of jump straight into that. So, just a quick one before I get into it. This slide, we're literally cutting into 3 single pieces because every single component of this, it's hugely important. So if you are going to take photos, you don't really have to worry about this slide. There will be some stuff that's coming up shortly that we're going to go into a lot of detail. But on that note, hopefully that should show you when we're speaking about funnels and it's like, hey, let's just go put together a funnel. It's not as simple as that. What I'm teaching you today is not how to design a funnel. It's the strategy. It's the copywriting, essentially. What is it that we have to say? Even though we're giving someone something for free, we still have to convince them to a certain amount, right? They're going to consume that PDF. They're going to read it. We're going to waste their time if it's not the relevant thing for them. So overall, for this initial page, what is it? We're telling them exactly what it is that they're going to get, okay? You can see a quick image representation there, a little bit of a credibility section, what you're actually going to learn inside, who I am, why you can trust me, and then some type of final call to action. This is a sequence that we would typically use, and even if I once again, if I go back to this now and you take a look at these, yes, the design might change, but you'll still see these same principles in every single one of these, right? They're all exactly the same. We follow a very specific framework of the type of information we need to give people so they are confident to opt in and download. And sometimes for this initial PDF download, we've seen anywhere between 50 to 70% opt-in rates. And this is things that can be tweaked and tested and adjusted over time, of course. So let's break down the first half of this, okay? You can see here I've numbered everything on the right-hand side. What is it that they're actually doing? Okay, so at this point, we just want to call out very simply what they're getting. They're getting a free guide, a free cheat sheet, a free roadmap, okay? We've actually split tested this a hell of a lot, and we found that just having free guide download works extremely well. So the very first point there, we just want to make sure that we're calling out to them, this is exactly what you're about to get. And then the headline of the title itself. I've got a few examples here, but for example, for this one, we've gone with Lazy Dancer's ballet workout plan, Get Ballerina Fit. So it's a little bit different from typical type of headlines that we'd use because this was something where we were trying to show people that there was exercises in it, right? We can show that this is something that you can do at home. It's not necessarily, for example, the 7 pillars of financial freedom where we can just have individual sections. So it was a little bit different. But if you try and think about this, as far as a headline, it is hugely important. That's the first thing that people are going to see, right? So a few different examples, the 7 pillars to financial freedom, the 2020 affiliate playbook, right? Making it relevant, showing this is something that's new, the 12-point checklist to moving homes. And you can see there that we're trying to use numbers within inside of a headline at some point. That's because, and someone spoke about this yesterday, if we can try and break this down into a way that people think that it's easy, it's short, it's something that they can consume, and it's actionable, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 12, it doesn't matter what it is, not too big. But we want to be able to make sure that within inside of that, they can look at it and go, okay, this is something that might be helpful, and this isn't going to be an ebook. So, once again, just impromptu, because a lot of people, right, has anybody here that PDFs are dead, ebooks are dead, they don't work, right? It's because when people are sending ebooks, PDFs, downloads, whatever it is, they're sending them the Bible, it's 120 pages long. They open it up, people download it, and it says, hey, your free worksheet. They open it, and it just scrolls and scrolls and scrolls, and people look at it, and they're like, I'm never going to look at that. I'm never going to even open it, right? So we want to make sure that this PDF is something that is short, is actionable, is something that people can consume typically within like 5 to 10 minutes, nothing crazy. Here we have the description, the sub-headline. This is where we'll go into, okay, just a quick overview of what is this. And you can get copy intents with this. For this one, we actually have, and we're speaking directly to who we know we're talking to. It says, love ballet, lie standing in the way of pursuing it, habitually ungraceful. I've said that so many times wrong in my room. Stop thinking that it's too late and you're too old. I've helped thousands of ballet hopefuls go from swan fakes to swan lakes. Sorry, not sorry. Right? They're using the language of their people who they know that they're talking to. And right underneath that, it tells them that they're about to download their free guide. And if we look at the pillars within inside of this, you can see, to start of it, we're asking some type of question, some type of objection, right? Is life standing in the way? Do you feel like this is something that you can't do anymore? Are you too old? Okay? Then we're showing them that we can solve an issue. We can solve the solution, which is inside of this PDF download. Okay? And then finally, just a quick recap of what is it that they're going to learn in this? How can they take action? Sometimes towards the end of this, we can literally say, click below the button so you can download this right now. It's a surprising amount of people who don't know what to do on the next step. So that's something to test out. The fourth part about this is the call to action button itself. Okay, you can get creative with this. You can look at trying to change this up. We have, once again, for this type of funnel format, we have split tested this to death. The simplest thing that works is download now. We have tried other stuff, which does work sometimes as far as using their voice when they're looking at it, saying, yes, I do want this. Especially if we're about to purchase something, for example, from a webinar, we can say, yes, I do want this. Yes, I am interested in this today. But for a PDF download, the simplest thing that we found is just having download now. Nothing crazy. They know exactly what it is that they're about to click on. The actual PDF image itself. Now, if you look at this image, hopefully it should invoke some type of curiosity, right? You can't see 100% of what it is inside. You can't see the information. You can see that it's relevant, right? She's pulling a ballet pose. You can see a little bit of information. You can see the title, and you can see something just behind it. So they can also see, going back to what I said a second ago, making sure this is something that's short, is actionable, easy to consume. I haven't got a book of it. Right? We're showing them that it's a free guide download. So even if you look at that, hopefully it should give you a representation that this is something that is short, it's easy, but it also invokes curiosity because you can't fully understand what it is they're about to learn. And that goes to the next point. Don't show too much, okay? We don't want to be showing them on there, hey, this is what you can do next, okay? We've literally just got a little bit of the intro. We're going to be going into the PDF towards the end of this, but we're just showing them a little bit of intro about what they're going to learn in this. And this was mentioned yesterday. If you do need help with it, of course, you can go to things like Fiverr, and they'll be able to put this stuff together for you, no problem. Finally, this very top section here, we have the credibility section, right? You can see here a few different examples featured in, okay? They use proudly seen in. So these are some companies that they might be in publications and stuff like that. If you go to our website, it's not that type of situation. So we'll have the second one. It will say trusted by, right? ClickFunnels, Secret Lab, all of these people. So people can see that and see that we're a reputable source. They're people who they know, like, and trust, okay? And you can see even with the position of this is something which is straight underneath the very top section. Right? So they can see it straight away. They're seeing the information, they're seeing the PDF, we're showing them why they can trust us before we even go any further. The next point to this, okay, is what is it that you're going to learn? So we want to make sure on this page that we're telling them, this is what it is you're going to learn. And I've said here, you can stick to around about 3 to 4 points. 4 can be a pre-sale. We'll cover that in a second. But you want to be able to tell them something that they're actually going to achieve by the end of time reading this, okay? So 3 bullet points. Going back to what I said about the 4th, can be a pre-sale. Sometimes, if we want to prompt people that the next step after reading this PDF is going to be, for example, we're also going to show you how you can take all of this and more from the comfort of your ballet home, you know? So we're telling people, we're almost pre-framing them that we're about to show them also something that's even better than this PDF. So normally we would say stick to 3 or 4 points. Has anybody heard about the power of freeze? I don't know the actual terminology they're saying here, but if, for example, at Funnel Empire, we help people build, optimize, and scale, right? For some reason, that does some crazy stuff to the brain, which makes it more interesting. It's something that they can look at, and it's more interesting. So try and stick to 3 points, maybe 4 if you want to try and pre-sell them on what it is to come. Who am I? Why I can trust you, right? Especially if you're coming from Facebook, Instagram. What have we done? We've disrupted their attention. They're not there to click on ads. They're there to check out social media, right? So when they go into this page, we want to make sure we have a little bit of a section which is telling them, this is exactly who I am. This is why I'm credible. You know, we want to be able to relate to our audience, and we want to be able to handle objections. And with inside of that, Alessia, it was a professional ballet dancer, so straight away you know she's trustworthy, right? And she goes through a little bit of messaging here about what her struggle was when she very first started, that it was too expensive to go to these classes. You know, she had kids, she didn't want to look after the kids, so that's why she created the solution. And all by doing that, we're handling some of the objections that people might have. The next section after this, a testimonial, credibility. Okay, written or video is great. It doesn't really matter. You can see in this one we use written. Like I said, we're not trying to really convince people to buy something. We're just trying to get them to opt in. So if we do have something nice to say there, that's always fantastic. Try and have it specific to the download if possible. Sometimes people might use this and just have, hey, working with Alessia was amazing. She's a great coach. And it's just like, what's that got to do with the PDF? So if you don't have anyone, look to your left and right? I'm sure all of you guys have connected at this point. Straight after, when you maybe go and put this PDF funnel together, you can say, hey, can you go check this out? Let me know what your thoughts are. And you can have yourself a nice little testimonial there. And then a final call to action. This is when they've got to the end of the page. We just want to have a nice final call to action that we have here. And the way that we've done this, and we see this work extremely well, is by 2 different ways, right? Doing X is only a click away. Pursuing your love for ballet is only a click away. Or your guide to financial freedom is around the corner, okay? And then right next to that, you can see that we've got some type of call to action button, okay? So that's just a very quick overview. It wasn't very quick. Just an overview of all of the stuff that we're going to have just within inside of this initial landing page itself. And all we've tried to do here is get people to opt in for a PDF, right? Never mind when we try to sell them. And this is why there's so much stigma around PDFs, downloads, why they're dead. It's because we need to make sure that we're making that connection. Right? Okay, so when they click that button, I didn't want to go over this too much because it's not too crazy, right? When they click the button, they're going to go into a pop-up. All we're going to do is recap what we've basically just gone over, okay? We go over the headline. We tell them we need their information, right? And you can get a little quirky with this. Once again, someone spoke about this yesterday by saying, give me your best email address, okay? Because a lot of times people will type in bullshit email addresses. Because of the way that we have this formatted, they'll end up clicking back, realizing they don't get anything, and they'll type in their best email address anyway. So if we can write something here, let us know where we're going to send your free download, okay? So they know that it's going to be going to their email inbox. They can't just type anything random in. So we're letting them know that we need their information. Of course, we want their name, their email. You can test this up a little bit. If you're not too bothered about getting a name for any reason, we've run many, many split tests as far as using name and email versus name. We haven't seen that big of a significant difference that we would ever change it out. So we also, of course, want to make sure that we recap the image so they can see again. Someone spoke about John. It was John. John spoke about people only remember the last thing that they see, right? You'll see this when we get to the offer stack, when we actually go to presenting our product and our offer itself. But this is a good example of this, okay? They've clicked the button, they've read all of that information on the page, and we're just popping up and we're saying, this is the headline, this is what you're going to learn, right? So they can see the visual representation of the PDF itself. We're asking for their name and their email. And then we have a call to action button, which is saying, yes, send it now. You can see where I use that context of framing here by saying, yes, send it now, right? That's what they're saying. And then finally, a privacy policy. Whenever we actually do these, we write, we love spam, because we'll just end up checking out all of your marketing tips and stuff like that. But basically for this, we just want to say, listen, your details are 100% safe and secure. You're not going to get anything rubbish from us, okay? Now, this is arguably one of the most important parts of this. There are still many key pieces to this, right? Because a lot of times when people get to this page, they're not going to buy straight away. Okay, we have the email follow-up sequences that we're going to be giving them. We have retargeting that we're going to be giving one. Matt mentioned, right? How many people bought straight away when they saw a ticket? Probably not, because might have been the first time you saw him. Maybe you wasn't ready right then. And we have all of the pieces in this place, which I'm going to be showing you. But this thank you page is arguably the most important page here. And once again, we're going to be breaking all of this down, so it doesn't really matter unless you just want to check the formatting of how this is designed. We're going to be breaking it down, so it doesn't matter too much about photos. But your guide's on its way, okay? Video sales letter itself. Just a quick one, that actual terminology, I always get tripped up with it. Does everyone know what a video sales letter is? A few people. Good, we'll go into that anyway. We're actually going through the script of it, okay? Because it's a little different to ad videos, okay? It's a little different to content videos. We need to bridge the gap between you've downloaded something, now we're trying to sell you something. And that's very difficult. So we're actually going to be breaking that down a lot further later on. Okay, we're going to call out the next logical step in the sequence. You can see here it says, do you want to jumpstart straight to the workout plans and classes? Okay, so we're mentioning to them, hey, you've downloaded the guide. There's a video there which basically covers everything. But if they don't check out the video, we basically go through the sequence then. Okay, so we're calling out the next logical step in the sequence. What's inside? The benefits. Further details, a sneak peek. If you have like an info product, some type of online training, this is fantastic. We found if we can show them a little bit of an insider of what it is that they're actually going to learn, quick 30-second snippet, people love that. Next part after this, recap the issue, the problem. This is where we get into a little bit of a copy of like, here's the struggles that you have. This is why this is going to be so great for you. The seventh point that we have here is further details and info if needed, right? All of this can change depending on what our offer is. You'll see the next slide in a second. We're not done on this thank you page. Excuse me. There's still half of this left. But you can see the context that we've got, how much information that we've actually got on this page itself, right? So if we're trying to get people to sign up for a free web class, for example, we don't need this big of a sales page to get people to sign up. The next part after this, okay, we've got why you should trust us. Now people are making a purchase, okay? So video testimonials, absolutely solid. Some type of guarantee, trial, trying to solidify our offer if we have anything like that. I'll speak about that shortly, but super interesting, some things that we can do to make it quirky and make it personalized to us. We have a call to action there, we have further benefits, and then we have frequently asked questions. Okay? So, let's break all of this down. So, the very top section that we have here, your guide is on its way. And the way that we wrote this is very specific because your guide is be on its way to his inbox in around about 8 minutes. If you use things like ActiveCampaign, some CRM platforms will allow you to send emails out at a very specific time, which is great for us because we've said, while you wait, you can watch this quick 4-minute, 50-second video that we recorded for you. Yes, it's only that long, so you can watch it all, right? So that's the very first thing that people see when they get to the top of the page. Because that's, as I mentioned earlier, that's where the disconnect is for most people. They'll send people to a PDF download page, and then they'll send them to the next page, and it's like, hey, buy my stuff, straight away. They don't even acknowledge that they've downloaded the PDF. We're not given any type of transition, right, which is the third piece that we're about to come into. So the very first thing that we want to make sure that we do is let them know we acknowledge that you've just downloaded the PDF guide. It's going to be on the way to your inbox. Video sales letter, like I said, we'll go into that a lot more shortly. The call to action, complete solution, right? This is where we go into, and a few examples I've pulled up here. Do you want to skip the hard work? Do you need an expert to help you? Do you want to get access to the complete guide, right? So you can see the terminology is not just buy my stuff. It's a logical sequence, right? We know they've downloaded something. So now we're saying, do you want to kind of like upgrade, okay? You've got the PDF, you've got the download, which is just a snippet of everything that you could have. So for Alessia, we said, you know, do you want to jumpstart straight to the workout plans and classes for her context? Straight underneath that, you can see her offer. You can't actually see it because it's blurry. But that's where we would want to say, this is what our offer is, right? They've seen it straight away. We're telling them what our offer is. And then further throughout the page, we'll have more information about what they're actually going to get. Fourth stage after this is the benefit solution itself, okay? What they're going to learn. What are they going to achieve with this product, with this offer that we're actually going to be giving them, okay? How is it great for them? Is it something that they can do anywhere from the world, you know? Is this an online info product? Is this a membership? Is this something that they can access anywhere in the world? Do they get one-on-one guided support, okay? So we want to make sure that when we're thinking about the benefits and what it is that we're actually giving to people, that we're telling them all of the best parts about it, okay? So this will just come straight after we've provided some type of call to action. Next after this, once again, if we don't need all of this information, you guys can kind of disregard this. But in this context, for an online monthly membership, we needed a little bit more information than usual. So we have here further details, sneak peek, right? I mentioned if you do have some kind of training, membership, platform, something like that, it's fantastic to give some type of insider video there. People love that. We're going to recap the issue, the problem, okay? Why did we even create this ourselves? What was the reason that we came up with this product? Okay, why did we come up with this solution? Most of the time, even when people get into business, right, it's because they're solving a problem that they had themselves. So this is where we can tell a little bit more of a story about exactly why we're doing this. Okay, so recapping that issue and the problem. Further benefits, you know, all of the features that you get inside works from any device, as I said. You know, it can be done at anywhere, anytime. Okay? Testimonial section. I wrote 3 points out here, okay, because not everyone will have video testimonials straight away. Video testimonials are, of course, the best thing that we want to use. Why? Because it's showing real-life people. Granted, we can send them a script and say, please follow this, but we're showing real-life people what they have said about our product or our service, okay? So if we can use video testimonials, they're fantastic. Written testimonials on Facebook, Google, Yelp, things where you can see straight underneath this, we've actually took screenshots directly from a Facebook group that they had. So you can still see real-life written testimonials that people have written, okay? And finally, written testimonials always work. They still work, but they're nowhere near as good as the other two. But, of course, we still want to make sure we have some type of testimonials. And with, you know, the platforms and the tools that we have available to now, everybody knows you can just type a few letters into a page, and it's a testimonial. But it's 10 times better than not having any whatsoever. A guarantee, a trial, or a risk reversal, as we would call it, okay? And this is where we're really displaying the confidence in our product, if you can do so. I know it's not feasible for most, but this is where we want to display the confidence in what it is that we're actually trying to offer people today. This for sure increases our conversions because it's giving someone, hey, well, if you do try this, like, there's a 100% chance you can get your money back, even if you absolutely hate it. Okay? There's a guy called Peng Joon. I'm not sure if anybody knows him. He had a fantastic example about trying to create his own kind of money-back guarantee, risk reversal. He called it my dog ate it guarantee, right? And the whole point about this is to show that it doesn't matter what your excuse is, what reason that you have, we'll give you a refund. Okay? So we're really standing behind our product. A benefit, call to action just underneath this, okay? We have a few of these throughout the page. You'll notice that there are buttons throughout the page, okay? They also go to the same place, but we do, especially when people are on mobile, you see how long this page is on desktop, never mind mobile. So if people have already decided that they want to buy 1/3 of the page down, we want to make sure we have that call to action there so we can take them to the page where they want to buy. And we have a nice call to action here. In this example, we've said, you know, pursue your passion and get free access for 7 days today. Okay, so we're kind of calling out their biggest fear and their objection and telling them, okay, we can go get 7 days free trial here. Last 2 points of this. Further benefits and features. As I said, they have a Facebook group, right? If we have some type of bonuses, free guides, accountability, anything that we're going to give them further down the page, this is a great place to then mention that, okay? Because it's not within inside of our core offer, our core product. But if we can then mention, okay, well, you will get access to the Facebook group. You will get one-on-one coaching. For the first 100 people, if we're doing webinars, right? For the first 10 people who sign up, you're going to get one-on-one coaching. This is where we can then stack all of the other things and benefits that they get within inside of a page. And finally, frequently asked questions. One of my favorite, hugely underused, okay? Because as I wrote there, this is our opportunity to answer any objections that people might have, right? Why doesn't it, you know, what's the money back guarantee for this? What happens if I don't like the product, okay? Does this work in my country? How long does this take to complete? All of the questions that we know people will go in to ask. How quick is a call-out service, you know? anything. It doesn't matter. We want to answer all of the problems that people might have. So by the time that they get to the end of this page, we should have answered every single thing that they can think of. And this is our final opportunity to do that. Okay? So, is everyone following so far? I know it's quite deep, right? Sweet. So, what I didn't want to go over this too much because, as I said, this might change, okay? Some people might be going from PDF download to the thank you page, the sales page, essentially, right? Then they might be going, for us, for example, we're going to a scheduled call, so we won't have this order form. Order form, scheduled call, they're basically the only two things that we would have. So I did want to quickly run over this if people are going to have an order form of some kind. But it's nothing too crazy. Essentially, what we want to do is we want to make sure that we recap what they get. Okay, right at the top of the page there, you can see nicely presented. Here's exactly what you're going to get today. They can see a visual representation of all of the course, all of the books, all of that stuff. Of course, an order form or a schedule a call input, if that's what we're going to do. On the right-hand side, number 3, you can see that we have then the offer stack itself. Now, if we think about why this page would be hugely important, let's say people don't buy straight away, huge percentage of people. Okay, people don't buy straight away. They go to that thank you page, they leave the page, they end up coming back on Facebook the next day, the day after, and they see one of our advertisements, and then they seem interested again, they click on it, and then sometimes people just take them to an order page that says just get started now. Okay, and people are not going to remember everything that we've told them about what it is that they're actually going to get. Okay, so you can see on the right-hand side here, this is where we're going to have our offer stack. This is where we're going to say, here's exactly what you're going to get today. You're going to get this, you're going to get this, you're going to get this, you know? And we keep going as far as whatever it is that we're going to be giving them. We also then would try and include some type of guarantee, our trial, our trust, whatever it is that we're trying to solidify our offer. Straight underneath this page, I've cut it into 2 sections here. You can see where we recap the results. Recap the testimonials, okay? We've actually, once again, split tested this. Sometimes it's not necessary depending on the industry, but sometimes we'd have that very top section that you can see on the left, okay? And nothing underneath that. That's all we would have. So that's something that you can kind of try out for yourself. And then finally, a final call to action at the bottom. And that button, all it's going to do is pull them straight back up to the page so they can order, okay? So if we were using that in context, for example, for a scheduled call page, similar type of situation, right? We'll have on the left-hand side the actual embed of the call scheduler. If you go to our website at any point, you'll see when you go to our website, even the top navigation bar that we have, you click any single one of them links or the buttons or anything, all it's going to do is take you to that one single call scheduling, right? Nowhere else. So if we were going to use that call scheduling page, we would just have the call scheduling, a quick recap of what they're going to learn on this call. For example, in context of us, hey, on this call, what we're going to be able to cover is everything that you need at this moment in time for your business. We'll be able to jump in, understand exactly where you're at right now, what the solution is for you to be able to achieve X, and by the end of the call, you'll have X, Y, Z, right? Okay, so we want to give someone something that by the end of the call, they know what it is that they're going to get, okay? So this is where we go into the video sales letter itself. So we're going to be breaking down a script for this. I am going to be doing something kind of cool and fun. What I'm going to do, especially to show you guys this is something that every single person can do. Some people have said already, if you don't like making video, don't make video. If you want to follow this strategy, you'll for sure need to make a video. But with this breakdown of all of the script, hopefully it should be helpful. And we have used this in all different types of industries. You can see real estate. We've had this for people who have online monthly memberships. People like Alessia, right? A monthly membership for ballet. We've had chefs make these videos. We've had that's the medical marijuana business, okay? He was awkward as hell, but he's still done it, okay? And then we've had garage coating companies do this, okay? So that's because we provided them a script that I'm about to show you. And with this script, it shouldn't be too hard whatsoever. Okay, so with this video sales letter script, and once again, let's recap this because I know it's a lot of information, right? So we take them to initial PDF opt-in page. The whole intent when they were on Facebook, when they were on Instagram, number 1 was to be scrolling through their social media, but then we distract them, right? We've created a pattern interrupt. Somehow our video, our content has got them from Facebook to a PDF download page. And we're saying, hey, we just want you to download this PDF. Click this button, enter your details, you'll get the PDF. And then they get taken to this page, which has that video sales letter on it, okay? The video at the top of that page. So when we're transitioning, we need to make sure that we're covering some hugely important points, especially for this lead, as, well, I've just downloaded a PDF and now you're trying to pitch me something. Like, how does that work? How do we make that transition? How do we make this so it isn't spammy, salesy? How do we give them some type of offer that they cannot refuse? Why should we make them take this offer right now instead of just walking away and coming back in 3 days' time? Okay, so we're going to break all of that down. The very first part of this is the position in itself, okay? And typically the way that this goes is, hey, this is who I am, founder of this company, and exactly what your company does, okay? So, hey, what's up? My name's Alex Taylor, founder at Funnel Empire. We help businesses all around the world generate high-quality leads and sales through the use of funnels and paid advertising, right? So we're quickly going through, this is who we are, and this is what we do. Straight after that, this is where we then merge into acknowledging that the fact that they've just downloaded a PDF, okay? And this is how we would typically do this, is by saying, okay, so before I even go any further, I want to thank you for downloading X, okay? Whatever our PDF guide, our cheat sheet is. And inside of it, you're going to learn this, and this is going to help you achieve this, okay? So, as I said, I'm going to try and make this stuff up on the spot so you guys can see that this is possible for regardless what industry, regardless what business that you have, okay? So, before I go any further, I want to quickly thank you for downloading our 7 steps to higher conversions. Inside of this, you're going to learn our most key points as to why your website is not working right now. And by the end of it, you're going to understand the pieces that are missing and exactly what you can do to change them, okay? So that's what that PDF is doing. We're acknowledging that by the time that they get through this PDF, this is what they're going to be able to do with it. And then this is really the transition itself, and this is what we have number 3 as the hook, okay? And this is where we kind of call out some common objections and issues that they might be having. So, if we were saying, let's go back one, okay, before I go any further, I want to thank you for downloading the 7 steps to higher conversions. Inside, you're going to learn X, Y, Z. But listen, before I go any further into this, have you been going to your website and you realize that regardless what it is that you change, you kind of hopelessly changing stuff on the page. You don't really understand how you can generate higher conversion rates. You don't really understand what you should do to be able to grow your business, right? Whatever that objection is, whatever the biggest fear problem is, this is where we call it out because we're about to relate to them, okay? We're about to tell them our hero story, okay, of how we actually understand this, why we can relate to them, why are we here right now? Why are we telling them about the solution and product that we have? Okay, and this is where we go into their current feelings. Okay, this is where we want to relate to our audience. And once again, how do you know this? Okay, so listen, I understand. Let's use Alessia. So one of our very first clients we worked with, it's a nightmare as a company for someone to come to you and say, hey, what's up, Alex? We love your stuff, but you're our last hope. Matt, you'll understand as an agency, it sucks. Not fun. We wasn't going to take them on at first, but I truly believed in their product and their service, and I knew with what I'm sharing with you guys today, this is something that is going to work extremely well for all of you, and it worked for them. It saved their business, okay? But that's where I would say, hey, well, one of the very first clients that we had, they had exactly the same issue. They had customers, people enjoyed their product, but they just didn't understand how they could create a strategy, a system, whatever you want to call it, of how to get new people in, okay? And we actually able to help them. We were able to allow them to be able to generate consistent leads with this strategy, okay? So we're telling them this is how we can relate to you. And this might be a little bit personal for some of you guys, right? If you've got a business, I don't know, an example, right? Say you hate cleaning your house, just like me. I have a cleaner as well. I suck at it. Okay? And maybe I ended up creating a company like that. And I said, listen, we want to be able to help entrepreneurs who hate cleaning their business. And listen, I can relate to you because every time I wake up, and I know 2 hours of my day is gone because I have to go through and clean my house every day. So I wanted to be able to create a solution, right? I've just made up a completely different story. But if in context for you guys, you know why you created your business, how this offer and this solution is going to help them, this is where we show our hero piece, okay? What is it that we discovered? Inside of this section, this is where we would want to tell a story. You can see here that the hero and the discovery, they kind of merge into each other. Okay? I used Alessia as an example there. This is basically where we're introducing our solution. Okay? So let's go back a little second, and I said, our client, when they ended up starting, they just couldn't generate consistent and reliable lead generation. Let's say that I ended up creating a funnel, a template that they could copy and paste straight in. This is the product that I'm selling in this example. This is why I created the perfect lead generation blueprint, which is an all-in-one tutorial and template download that people can follow so they can create their own lead generation service without having to pay other agencies to do it. Okay? So we're showing them why we actually created our service. Why did we create our solution itself? Very powerful stuff. A lot of the times, people won't necessarily not buy because they're getting pitched. They just need to understand why. Why should I take this offer? Why are you offering me this today? I've just downloaded a PDF. All I got was a PDF. Why are you trying to sell me something now? And if we give them a reason why, they're more inclined to buy. That rhymes. Okay, and this is one of the final two steps that we have here. This is the actual invitation to the offer itself. Okay, so we've told them, hey, this is why I created this product. This is why I created this solution. And today, I want to be able to offer you this. Okay, I want to be able to offer you the perfect chiropractor download. Okay, which is going to allow you to copy and paste these templates, follow the video tutorials, and understand how you can start generating consistent lead generation for your business. Okay, and this is where we get into the benefits. Okay, if there are further benefits, this is where we kind of want to describe that. And we want to show an issue. We want to solve the problem. Okay, once again, this is where we can tie in further and say, listen, once again, I understand. We were working with chiropractors to start with. They didn't want to pay our fees. They wanted a solution that they could do for themselves. And that is why we created the perfect chiropractor download. Okay, another product I've just made up. And most importantly here, especially, and this is why this works so well, okay, is because when we're using this, we're showing them that this is a one-time offer. Right? If anybody's used ClickFunnels, you know that they'll have features within inside of their account, like countdown timers, right? Bullshit. They just reset, and it sucks, especially for people now. They're getting smarter and smarter. They're seeing these ClickFunnels pages, and they know that timer just resets. And I actually go into this on the next point in a second, but we can use real scarcity here, okay? If it's monetary, if it's time, if it's limited seating, for example, like this event, right? We want to be able to use real scarcity. We want to be able to create a one-time offer for them, okay? And a good way that I like to do this is by saying, I know you don't know me, right? So, hey, what's up? Like, listen, I know you don't know me. I know this is probably the very first time that we've met. And at this point, you probably don't know me well enough that you would be able to commit into my product or my service. And that is why we want to be able to offer you this today at XYZ, right, which would be a discounted price. Let's say, for example, we have a paid consultation call. Typically, our call is $250, right? But today, because you don't know me, because you've gone through the training, you've showed interest in what it is that we have, we want to be able to offer you this call for the next 72 hours, 100% free. Okay, and this kind of follows into the final call to action here, where we're creating that scarcity, okay? I've said the next 72 hours. You can see at the bottom what I've got there is a platform called Deadline Funnel. And essentially, it's a little bit expensive, but essentially what Deadline Funnel does is you integrate it with inside of your funnel. You set a time that you want, 72 hours, for example. It cookies someone, so when they do leave the page, it will come back to the page and it will say, this is how long you have left for this offer, which is important for us, especially when I get into the next piece, which is the emails itself. It's important for us because we're showing real scarcity. We're showing truth to our offer, to our brand, right? So if they do miss it and they go back to that page and it redirects them and says, sorry, our offer is no longer available, they're going to think, next time I see an offer, like, I know I know this isn't bullshit. This is something I do have to take up if I want to join, okay? So that is the overall positioning of this script. And of course, this will depend on your business as far as how long it takes, okay? How much you need to go into detail about the pain points, the problems, the solutions, okay? The benefits, for example, if we're having a scheduled call versus we're trying to get someone to buy a $1,000 course, of course, a $1,000 course is going to need a lot more explanation, right? A scheduled call, we're just going to list all of the best things as to why they should join us on that call, okay? So, everyone following so far? Sweet. So there's two kind of final sections to this that I want to run through. And this is the email follow-up sequence itself, okay? So once again, let's recap. So we have the initial PDF download itself, okay? Took someone from Facebook, we took them from Instagram, we've got them through to the PDF. They've downloaded the PDF, okay? They're excited to what it is that you have to show them. Then we take them through to the thank you page, okay? So we're showing them this is what our offer is. This is essentially where we're pitching them. In the good chance that people do not buy straight away, we have two useful resources here, free actually. The first one, of course, is retargeting, right? So we can send people back to the page. The second one is our email follow-up sequences, which people will for sure open the first one, because of course that's how they know that they're going to get the PDF itself. And the format that we typically like to use, you can see here, like I said, if you use ActiveCampaign, platforms like that, sometimes they allow you to use very specific times that you can send out emails, okay? So we would send this 8 minutes out, okay? So let's say, for example, our video sales letter is 4 minutes long, we can send it 8 minutes out longer, okay? Example headline, you can see what I've got here is the name of your guide, download, and your story. Okay, so because it's cool because it's mentioning exactly what it is that they're expecting, plus there's some random jargon on the end that they don't quite understand right now. So for example, right, your 4 pillars to higher conversion download and the ballet club. What's the ballet club? No one knows what a ballet club is right now. But that is where I'll go into my story, which I'll cover in a second. So, starting out, of course, we want to make sure that we intro that we know who they are, hey, first name. And then this is where we start to tell a little bit of a story. So we're not even saying straight away, hey, here's your free download, Merry Christmas. We're going to a little bit of a story first, okay? So story about the problem that you encountered in your journey with solving this problem, okay? And once again, if we use Alessia for this, the ballet club, that's why I call it the headline. It was January 2017 when I ended up having a client reach out to me in desperate need for our help, right? Their lead generation was dry, they were about to stop all of their business, and it was because that they couldn't understand this one key principle, how to generate consistent leads, okay? And then we go into a little bit more of a story. And essentially, that could be as long as you want, but the point is, here is where we are telling them a little bit about us. We're telling them about something that we've experienced, okay? And this ties perfectly into our credibility section. So let's skip to the end of that, and we say, and with this solution that we were able to do for Lazy Dancer, we were able to help them generate consistent leads, consistent revenue online. And since then, credibility section, we have been able to help 100 businesses around the world be able to do X, Y, Z, right? So we're just introing ourselves a little bit of credibility here. Next point that we have here is, why do I tell you this? Well, this is why I've created the download, right? The 4 pillars to conversions, okay? This is why I created this download. I created this download because I was sick and tired of seeing people doing stupid stuff to their website. They don't even know what they're changing, okay? And this is why I've created this download that you're in possession of today. So instead of just saying, hey, here's your download, we've told them a whole story as to why we've created it, okay? It's powerful. A reason why, like I mentioned earlier, right? We're telling people why we've done this. The next part after this is our actual discovery itself, okay? What did we discover? Okay, we discovered, and a good way to do this is, listen, this PDF, this guide, this download is amazing, but the problem is it's almost like having keys to a supercar not knowing how to drive it, right? It's 10% of the information. It's 10% of the stuff that you actually need to be able to take all of this, apply it, and get results for your business, right? So we're introing the next section after this, which is our offer, okay? And this is where we go into our offer. Whatever our offer is, 50% off, free call, 7-day trial, etc. Okay, and this is where we would go in and say, so, once again, this is a great way to do it. I know you don't know me. This is the first time that we've met. So I want to kind of meet you halfway here. Typically, our product is $500, but for the next 72 hours, you can get it for $297, for example. Okay? And then, once again, scarcity. Monetary, time, limitations, events, stuff like that. This is where we want to tell them exactly why they should take us up on our offer. Okay? And then a quick little thing that we do at the end is saying, P.S., this is exactly what you're going to learn in the next email from us. Okay? That's email 1. Everyone following still? Sweet. Second email. This goes out a day after, 24 hours after. Okay? Headline, typically we would say a story about something that you've encountered. For example, don't give too much. Don't give too little. And my story here, what I'm going to talk about, is a website, right? Most people's website either has way too much information on it or hardly any information, okay? And that's a little bit of a story that I'm going into there. So they'll understand that in context when they read the email, but when they read the headline, they don't really understand what I'm talking about, right? And the headline is basically clickbait, okay? We're just trying to get them to open it so we can tell them our message and our story. This is where we would then just tie this into the offer, once again, okay? Don't have too much information, too little information. Ultimately, not understanding what converts. What is it that we have to have in place for this to work, okay? And this is why, once again, we tie into our offer, and this is why we created this, okay? And as a reminder, at this point, you've only got 48 hours left to take us up on this offer. As a recap, everything you're going to learn inside is this, and this, and this, okay? So written exactly what it is that they're going to achieve. And then finally, towards the bottom there, we can also just recap and talk about the problems that we will solve, the things that people are actually going to achieve as a reminder, because at this point, it's been 48 hours. I have no idea what day it is. I don't know what I done yesterday. So if people are looking at us and it's the first time that they saw us, we just want to make sure that we're recapping here everything that they're going to get. And then finally, towards the bottom, exactly what they're going to learn inside of the next email. Nice. Final email. So, day 3, email 3, 48 hours after. Typically what we would like to do here is have some type of case study, testimonial, okay? How cool does that headline sound? 2.3 mil in 23 days. It's actually a lie. It was $1 million in 23 days, my bad. But that headline, right, you look at that straight away, that's, number one, sounds near impossible. But it's something that's interesting, especially to who I'm trying to talk to. And then in brackets, we would typically have, and only a few hours left, okay? Same type of format. Hey, talk about a case study, okay? If I use another client that we had called Renegade Strength Club, you would have seen one of the examples within inside of what I was showing you, but they just had a terrible website, okay? He had a lot of in-person personal training events and stuff. He'd done a lot of speaking, but he didn't have too much going on online. So I would talk about a little bit of the story here. To where now he generates literally 50K every single month in recurring revenue from this strategy. And at the start, he had absolutely nothing whatsoever. So I'm using a case study here. And instead of just slapping in, hey, my name's Jess, and this is what I'm able to achieve, etc., we're kind of using our own personal situation. Even if you're a builder, Jeff came to us, his house was falling down. By the end of it, etc., right? Once again, we're going to tie this into our story, into our offer, what it is that we're doing, justifying the sale, right? We're telling them why we created this once again. And a reminder, at this point, you literally only have a few hours left for this offer, okay? And seriously, you're never going to see this again, 100%, and especially if you implement things like deadline funnel, right? They won't actually be able to see that again. So, if you're serious about trying to increase your conversion rate, if you are serious about being able to scale your business online without wasting countless money, etc., right? So we're telling them about the solution, tying in a little bit of the pain points, objections towards the end of this email, and then we provide them that kind of final call to action, okay? And then final PS, obviously we don't have a final email after this. Don't regret taking advantage of this opportunity to achieve whatever it is that they're going to achieve. Now is your time to rise above your competition and become the trusted authority in your space. That's cool, right? Everyone wants to be better in their competition. Okay? Sweet, that's emails done. Everyone following so far? Sweet. Okay, so I spoke to a gentleman about this yesterday, the actual PDF structure itself. I can't remember what he was sending out, but he said, I'm just about to send out like a PDF itself, and I was like, let me check real quick, because this is one of the key final pieces to all of this strategy, okay? People will get people to opt in. They'll get them to download the PDF. The content might be good, right? Surely your layout and the design and everything could change. But ultimately, what they downloaded is good content, good information. They'll go through it, they'll go through it, they'll go through it. This is fantastic, amazing. And then at the bottom, it's like, Merry Christmas, see you later. And there's no real call to action, right? We're not telling people the next steps of what we want them to do. So I'm going to be skimming through the next few slides, but there's two most important points to this, which is the actual initial intro of the PDF itself. And you can see how we have this laid out, right? We're not even going into content yet. So we have the initial headline and the intro itself, okay? Where we talk about, once again, let's say people download the PDF, they have to take the dog out, 2 hours later they sit down and they read this PDF, okay? Who are we? What is it that we do? Okay, hey, I'm Jason Ferrugia, founder of this fitness club, et cetera, what is this guide going to help you achieve? Okay, so just a quick recap on exactly what it is that they're going to achieve by the time that they read this guide. It's great, because by the time they get to the end of it, they can probably look at it and go, okay, yeah, he's covered everything that they said they were going to cover. Okay, so about this guide, what it helps people do. Without it, this is a great little thing that we like to do. You can use this in your copy everywhere. Without it, problem. With it, solution. right? So here, for example, we've said, without it, you will continue to waste countless hours at the gym, wondering if what you're doing is actually working while setting yourself up for the same old results, right? No one wants that. With it, and this is where we show them, with this guide, with this solution, you're going to be able to get joint-friendly, you can do 34-minute exercise at home, et cetera, right? So we provide them what it is that we're going to solve by the end of this PDF. And then finally, some type of final call to action. In this case, if some of you can read it, it says, so how do you chisel the perfect body with minimal time and limited equipment, right? Question. So we bring them into the next piece of the actual content itself. Sometimes you can leave this very simple of, okay, I look forward to seeing you inside, let's get started. Okay, but that initial intro slide for your PDF itself is hugely important because it sets people up for what we're about to teach them. Okay? So, as I said, I wanted to pull this up so you guys can see a little bit of context of how we would lay this out as far as our PDF. A great little thing to remember, when we're doing these PDFs, and I mentioned this earlier, right, we're not sending people books. We're not sending them 100-page guides. These, as you'll see in a second, is 9 pages total, okay? We want to try and follow a format that we make it short, it's actionable, it's easy to consume. They consume it in around about 3, 5, 10 minutes maximum. And then we have a relevant call to action towards the end of it, right? So it follows a SEER format. If I show you all of these real quick, so we have content. I won't keep repeating that. Okay, so you can see that we go through them slides. That's the actual content itself. This is stuff that's going to change for everyone. So it doesn't matter too much, okay? That's where you're just going to tell them whatever it is that you want to tell them, okay? And then the most final, important part about all of this, okay, is what I was talking about, that final outro, that call to action itself. What is it that we now want people to do? Okay, we've told them, they've gone through this guide, we're showing them, here's the rules, here's the things not to do, okay? Here's the type of workouts that you can do, okay? Functional body exercises that you can do at home, okay? And they're like, this is awesome, great, fantastic. I can go ahead and start trying this now. So we've gave them something that we told them we're actually going to achieve by the end of it, okay? And then this final slide itself, the outro and the call to action, okay? What do we want them to do next? So you can see straight up the top, it says accelerate your results. Okay, so punchy, catchy, straight away we're calling out, why don't you do this? How can you 10x this? How can you get better results, for example, okay? Achieve, skip. They're typically great ways to follow it, okay? Skip the poor training workout, achieve massive results, basically use a positive or a negative. So, this is where we tell them, okay, you're now in possession of my 4 steps to converting website, right? Inside of this guide, it's going to help you do X, Y, Z, right? We've already covered that. We've already gone through everything that they're going to achieve. But it's literally only 10%, and I covered this earlier if you remember, it's literally only 10% of what you really need to know to be able to achieve X. Okay, so we're kind of calling out that this is fantastic. It's kind of like a starter guide, which is great. I'm glad you love it. But if you're the type of person who wants to have someone come in, you want them to help you build all of this out for you. You want someone who can guide you by the hand, step by step, of exactly what it is you need to do, offer. Okay, and I mentioned earlier, just as a recap, we have 3 main places as to where we could do this, okay? So the actual thank you page itself, when we're presenting our offer. The second one, people remember it, the emails, right? We have the emails where we're kind of pulling them back in. And then we also have the retargeting. So there's 3 opportunities, if you do this right, where we can pull people back in, okay? Straight after this, like I said, if you'd like to do X, then it's time to join my club. Sign up for our membership. Schedule your initial call. So this is where we're now presenting our offer. And most of the time that we like to do this by having some type of short description, right? You can see that straight underneath that we have some bullet points. So it's great if we want to kind of recap all of the benefits and features of stuff that they're going to have inside. Finally, of course, we've mentioned this everywhere else, so we for sure want to make sure that we mention this here, is the scarcity, the call to action, right? We only have 50% off for only 72 hours, okay? If you don't take us up on this, you will have to pay $500 normally, okay? So we're using money that side. Time. Scheduled calls, for example, our calendar gets booked up. Events, right? There's only 25 tickets remaining, whatever it might be. This is where we always want to try and add some type of scarcity. No bullshit, but a real, legitimate scarcity. And like I said, with that tool, Deadline Funnel, you can create legitimate, real scarcity. And then, of course, very simple, very easy, the biggest thing that people forget, tell them what it is that we want to do next, okay? Click this button below. You know, like I said before, a lot of people don't understand, even if there's a button there, that they should be clicking that button. So right at the end, it says, click below to learn more about Renegade Strong. And with inside of that button, what we want to do, and like I said, you can probably get a designer if you're not kind of tech savvy to do this, but that button, when they click it with inside of your emails, so they open the PDF. The PDF's opened up into Google Chrome, right, like it does, unless you're on mobile. When they hover over and they click that, we need that to take them to the sales page, right, the sales page that we've created. We want to make this as easy as possible for people who actually want to buy our stuff. Does that make sense? Sweet. Okay. So, the main kind of takeaways here. I know half of the people here are still drunk or hungover, so I imagine you're fried. But the main takeaways that I want to kind of call out here, okay? Is funnels can and they will work for everything and everyone. Everything that I've showed you today is just one single strategy, okay? If we're doing e-commerce, if we're doing info products, completely different. If we're doing low ticket, if we're doing high ticket, completely different. Funnels have that weird stigma about them. Like I said at the start, right? All it is a smarter way to get our audience to do what it is that we want. Okay, instead of sending them to our website, which have 25 different courses on there, and loads of different options, and all about navigation and stuff that's going on, we're just sending them to one single thing that we want them to do. Okay, so it can and it will work for everyone. This stuff takes time to perfect, of course. Half of you people out there, listen, I'm hard. I left my house 2 days ago. I'm moving to Colombia tomorrow, right? I had to paint the wall. I'm pretty much accepted that I'm not going to get my deposit back, okay? I for sure cannot paint. So, for the people out there, all of your professions and the stuff that you do, just remember, like, there's a fat chance I can do what you guys can do. I've been doing this for years, thankfully with clients' money, okay? So I can use and test and adjust what we know is going to work. We're finding out by using these tools, like ClickFunnels I've mentioned at the start, right? We're able to see what it is that is going to work. And this takes time. It takes a lot of money in the case of our agency, but it takes time, most importantly. A lot of the times when we put out funnels, my biggest job is to tell people there's a good chance you're not going to get results straight away, but in the best way possible, okay? Because we're only going off a framework of what we know is going to work. We don't know straight away if our audience is going to resonate with that, okay? And that's where the testing and the adjusting comes in. If you go to our website, funnelempire.co, if you go and check, one headline will be a question. If you refresh it, the other one will be a different statement. So we're doing it every single day. We're testing and we're adjusting and we're trying to figure out what is it that people resonate with the best. What do they like the most? Here's a cool one. Because I know you guys are not going to take this and go, yeah, I'm going to go build myself a funnel straight away, because it's going to take a lot of time. Typically, we spend around about a month to put everything together, not including the lagging client who takes 3 weeks to record the video because they hate video, okay? But here's something immediate that you can do. If you look at the pieces that we've covered today, okay, even the main things, testimonials, who am I, what is it that I do, why can you trust me, all of these things. You can go to your website. I guarantee you there will be at least half of the room. You can go into your website today and check out, and you'll realize, oh, I don't actually have that there, okay? Or why have I got a whole page worth of about who I am and our motto and our mission statement? How can I make my website clear, easy for people to consume? They understand exactly what it is that we do, and I guarantee if you go through this, you'll be able to see some of them pieces that are missing, okay? So, 2 final little things. Number 1, if you guys have been writing, I bet your hand is killing. Number 2, if you've been taking some photos, apart from making me look good, they're essentially pointless. Because if you guys go to this link, this is a good chance to take out a link. You guys can go to this website, and essentially you'll be able to get all of these slides, because it's technical stuff, right? It goes into a lot of detail. So if you go to this for the next 24 hours, scarcity, you can get all of these slides, and you can go through it on your own, step by step, and you can check it all out. My name's Alex Taylor. I appreciate you guys listening to me today. Of course, I'll be around if you have any questions, and I hope you guys rock it with funnels. Thank you.
Yeah. Alex, are you all right to take some questions?
Of course.
Yeah, please.
Perfect timing. sweet.
Coming now.
Nah.
Hi.
Is that you being serious? He
Hi,
typed
Alex.
in right.
Hi, Alex.
All right, I'll check that. I'll check that in a minute. Okay. Yeah, well, you're wrong then. Come on, don't embarrass me like that.
Yeah, hi, Alex. Fantastic presentation.
Thank you, I
Thank you
appreciate
very
it.
much.
Where are
Really
you? Thank you. Hey, how are you?
Good. Thank you very much indeed. That was
Thank you.
awesome. Yeah, the thing that strikes me is obviously putting all that together takes a lot of planning and a lot of sort of coordination. Do you have any kind of tools to sort of encapsulate the whole, you're building your web pages, your emails, and the content? Is there anything that you use to kind of manage all that? And then
Do you mean like any type of like templates and stuff like that?
probably templates, but like an overall system that you can keep track of. You're building your emails and your web pages and how it all links together. I know you've got things like Trello and Asana and all this kind of stuff.
For sure.
In terms of like, is like Funalytics or other bits and pieces to actually pull it all together?
My God.
Making sure it all works as well. It all tests out correctly.
For sure. For sure. So, fucking kill my hand. So, ClickFunnels, of course, we use. So as far as our actual funnel itself, building it out, our designers, they know this framework inside out. So most of the time, we can just go straight into our account, pick one of them beautiful funnels you saw, click one button, copy and paste it, change out all of the information, essentially. There's a lot of more stuff to do. But this is Funalytics, right? You might be able to tell by the idea, and this is why I wanted to put it on the screen. So when you guys go through this, you can see, all right, just as a recap, what is it do I need? Okay, I need that opt-in page, right? I need that thank you page, which has that video sales letter. I need the next step in the sequence, which is a scheduled call. And then we need the thank you page. And then straight after that, you can see the emails underneath. But ultimately, the only things we really need is CRM itself. So let's say ActiveCampaign, right? We use ClickFunnels to build all of the funnels. For our clients, we use a platform called Monday, especially if you're talking like agency type of situation. For our clients, we use a platform called Monday to keep track of everything, which says each single piece of what it is that we need to do. But ultimately, the best thing, and this is a thing, if we do this for clients, it costs $10,000. If we were able to teach this to someone, it takes at least a month to do. So everything that I've kind of shared with you today is, like I said, I know it's detailed. I know it's very, very in-depth. That's why I wanted to give you the slides, number one, because this is the best chance you're going to have as far as knowing what is it that I have to do? What do I need to write with inside of these funnels? What's all of these key pieces that I know I need to make sure I include? So, do you want to try to re-answer the question?
No, I think that's been good, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you.
Sweet.
Okay, next question.
Alex, just relax. The link actually works, but it's case sensitive, so you have to follow the capital letters for everyone.
All right.
I don't have a question.
Up the back there was a question.
Was that the question? You just wanted to say that?
Oh, yeah, man. She just wanted to point out that
She's been
you've got
digging
something
me
wrong.
for the past 3 days.
Hi, Alex. I just wanted
Hey.
to ask. I'm here.
Hey, how are you?
I just wanted to ask: do you have any recommended softwares to use for renders? So your promo images for like guides and that sort of stuff to create those 3D images.
InDesign, I'm pretty sure our
Use
designers
InDesign.
use.
Yeah.
Like I said, if you're capable of doing stuff like that,
Yeah.
you can come see me after. I'll send you like a framework template of one that we've used before,
Perfect,
if you
thank you.
like. Just for $9.97. No, I'm just kidding. You just come to me and I can give you that later on, and you can basically just change some stuff out there if you want.
Perfect,
But
thank you.
they use InDesign. I can't actually do that. I'm not a graphic designer, but they can put that together with inside of InDesign. Or once again, for the rest of you, use Fiverr.
Yeah.
Well, that's easy stuff for these.
On that note, I've got something to add to that because I know Sally and the team could definitely use this. We use, at our agency, we use a company called Design Pickle. Raise your hands if you heard of Design Pickle.
Yeah, they're great.
Yeah. So Design Pickle, I mean, they are amazing. Unlimited designs, 24-hour turnaround, unlimited revisions, $397 a month. Everything that you've got in your bag, all of those guides, all of those PDFs, the manual you're looking at, everything was done by Design Pickle. And we pay them $397 a month. And a full-time designer in the UK would cost us at least £800 a month. for 220 quid or whatever it is, we can have a design literally at our fingertips. We send them design requests, design this ad image. All of our ad images are done through them. Design this ad image, design this ebook cover, design this PDF, and they come back within 24 hours with a design. And like, you've seen our work, like you've seen all of our graphics. That's all done by Design Pickle. So that should be a really good nugget for you to take away. That'll save you a lot of money. Go to the back for a bit, actually. Satch up the back, Jubin.
Hi, Alex.
Hey, how are you?
Just wanted to get a sense of, once you've gone from your freebie through to your next, is there a price limit in terms of what you can get people to convert on?
That's a great question. We have personally, the maximum that we have been able to do this with is around about $300. Anything else, John spoke about webinars, right? Probably your best bet. If you've got a higher end product, using a webinar most of the time works extremely well. Or if you was to use this strategy, instead of going direct through to a purchase, we could do the other option that I talked about, which is schedule a call, right? An application. So, for example, if we wanted someone to work with us and we went from PDF to thank you page, and we're going through all of our pitch about thanks for the PDF, now here's our offer, do you want us to help you do it? We can do this for you, schedule a call, fill out a quick application. With inside of that, we'll be able to figure if they're the right fit, and then we can go through to a scheduled call. But as far as like direct purchase, the very maximum we've been able to do it for is around about $300. Does that answer your question? Sweet.
Back there, that's it. Satch at the back there.
Hey, Alex. Quick question.
How are you?
The URL for the landing page of your funnel, do you use a separate URL, or does it become an extension of your
Compared
website?
to like your website, for example,
Yeah.
I would just use a subdomain. So funnelempire.co, say if we wanted to give away this PDF, it would be guide.funnelempire.co.
So it's a separate URL.
And think about it like this, right? No one's ever really going to find this unless we're sending traffic directly to it. So it doesn't really matter too much, okay? And every time we want to get them back to the thank you page, it's either going to be a hyperlink in an email, hyperlink inside of a PDF, or retargeting video, which will be sending them straight back to the page. So number one, doesn't really matter, but yeah, we would just use a subdomain of some kind.
Yeah, what I do on that note as well, what I do normally for lead magnets is I buy a separate domain for that lead magnet that's related to the lead magnet but short and punchy. That's just something that I do.
Yep.
So for instance, the Big Box of Stuff funnel, that was called bigboxofstuff.com. And because, again, like Alex just said there, it's completely right. No one goes there unless you're driving traffic there anyway. It's not a site that's going to get ranked or anything like that. So like this event, for instance, it's emclive.co.uk. It wasn't einsteinmarketer.com/EMC or anything like that. I like to buy a domain for each campaign that I'm running. Because, for the sake of a $5, a lot of the time it makes the marketing a lot better. And you can say something punchy related to the lead magnet you're giving away. Yeah.
Just a quick final point, because that's great. There was a company who you might remember I went through in here. I don't know if I'm not going to bother. But it was a company called Affiliate Institute. They have an affiliate marketing program, and they're called affiliateinstitute.com, right? So when we sent them to the funnel, they had 2019 affiliate playbook. Okay, because just like you said, that's something that's easy to remember. It's punchy. So for some reason, if they did want to go back to it, they can go back to it. Once again, I don't think it's so important, but we've done that as well for multiple clients. So.
Okay, Atish, just up the back there. Just go to Vish and then start working your way down the front, because they're all good questions, so these are good.
Cheers. Bro, your stuff is fucking awesome.
I appreciate it. Thank you very
great.
much.
So thank you so much for all that content. It's
You're
great.
welcome.
You spoke a lot about the elements of a page, irrespective of what page it is. How important is design in the actual look and feel of the funnel? Because there's been a big shift towards kind of using custom script, CSS, et cetera, in funnels. I've had to upskill myself. I'm still not there, but I will get there. But how important do you find it in conversions? Because that's what a funnel is all about, isn't it?
Nice. Well, here's a good point. I'll start off by saying, does anybody remember what John's funnel looked like? Trash. Okay, it doesn't matter too much. All that really matters about everything is the offer, the messaging, right? Especially for us as well. Why we create these designs is because for this company, number one, congruency most of the time. So if they go to this funnel and then they went to the website, we want to make sure that it is close as possible to their brand, the design, and everything like that. We have never really seen a huge separation. We would say, no, if you design 10 times better aesthetically, you're going to get X amount better results. That's the honest answer. Like, does it really matter? Let's go even further into this. Where are people most of the time? On their mobiles, right? How much of this can you actually see on your mobile? You can't. It looks completely different. People are just focusing on the messaging. So, ultimately, does it really matter? It's in our sales pitch, so yes, but no, okay? It doesn't really matter. The messaging is the most important part, but we would always, of course, want to make it look as close to our brand and make it look as high quality and appealing as possible, because that represents quality. Right? So also dependent on industry, product, stuff like that. If you're a garage floor coating company, who's going to pay $4,000 to paint your floor or whatever it is that they do, we don't want that to look spammy. You know, so I'm sure from the lead, the customer's point of view, it's important for them. Just like when we go to Apple and we buy an iPhone, you imagine their page was whack. And you're just like, how is this technology so good? But that's what they've designed, right? They have to make it congruent. So depending on industry, you know, ultimately, no, messaging is most important.
Take two more questions. One there, and then one down in front there. Yeah, that's it.
Thanks,
Alex will be sticking around in the break, guys, so you can ask him these questions.
Alex, I was going to ask you this question in the break.
Hey,
but
how
I'll
are
ask
you?
it in front of everyone else.
Yeah, sweet.
Do you guys consider joint ventures, sharing revenue, profits, etc.?
Yes, we do. We, depending on like the type of project, we'll speak about this later, but very quickly, yes, we do. In short answer, we can speak about this on stage.
Okay, just speak to me, okay?
Yeah, no problem.
One more. What last question then?
Hello, Alex.
Hey, how are you? No
presentation.
JVs, please.
Very nice. All detailed and spoon-fed to us, really. So it's nice. I wanted to check regarding the follow-up emails that you send. The first one, obviously, is a very obvious one where that you mentioned as a subject line of free download, and people will open that. But what about the second day and the third day subject lines that you have, which will help more people opening that email?
Sure.
And also wanted to ask, after the third day, what do you do if they don't sort of convert then?
Sure, so this is good. Most of the time, we leave this onto the client. With inside of this system, this sequence that we set up, we would always say, we need to make sure that we have at least 72 hours worth of emails, right? Because that's really the prime time where someone is going to buy. And it's not 100% true. Like, someone could buy a week later, they could buy a month later, but from our side, what we do after that initial 72-hour email follow-up sequence, we'd then pull them into non-buyers cold list, where most of the time the client will have like a monthly newsletter that they'll send out. They'll also have like a 21-day follow-up sequence that they've already created, generic content with a soft call to action. Hey, oh, by the way, you can still buy this if you want, but it's full price. You know, so for us, that 72-hour sequence, that free emails, is most important for us because that's when we know people are going to buy. But ultimately, if you were doing this yourself, I would say write 10 emails for sure. You know, accompanied with retargeting, which most of the time is where people buy, right? Even for us in an agency, we run all of our traffic Google ads, all of our retargeting Facebook, YouTube. That's where people most of the time will sign up. You know, accompanied with that 10 email sequence, that would really make it a solid kind of system. You know, but for us, when we're doing this for clients, we would say we want to make sure that we have at least a minimum of free emails. So, subject lines. So, like, I hate saying this, but basically as clickbait as possible, right? Until they can read that message. We don't want to make it so it's untrue or it's like complete spam. But for example, that headline, you look at it and it says 2.3 mil in 45 days, like curiosity, right? With these headlines, how can we invoke curiosity? We don't want to tell them the solution. John spoke about this, right? We don't want to tell them how completely. We just want to kind of give them a little bit, you know? So any way that we can use basically what we're going to be telling inside of our email, our story, right? I use like the ballet club, okay? It says your PDF download plus the ballet club. Like, I don't understand what that is. If I don't understand what it is, or it's something that is punchy, it's interesting, high values, you know, something 72% of funds saved yearly, whatever it might be, you know, but realistically, we just want to make it so someone would open it and they will either not know what it is that we're about to talk about, or invoke more curiosity because they do have a good idea and they for sure want to kind of read and learn more. Does that make sense? Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Alex Taylor, please.
Thank you.